Hello everybody, Flick here. It's time for yet another Let's Look At, and today we are taking a look at Replica. I know that's a bit hard to read there, but that's what it says. It's Replica, a game by Somi, I think is how you would pronounce their name. Using the word game here is a little bit, off. They describe it themselves as an interactive novel, and that is much more apt. And as you can see here, we are holding a phone. The entire game is in this phone. And I don't want to go into too much detail for spoilers because again it is a short form novel, and a bit like the pace of Stanley Parable, it's kind of like Live Die Repeat, as it were. There's multiple endings. You can get some of the endings like in 10 seconds if you wanted to, if you knew what you were doing. There's other long form ones that can actually take hours. In general, there isn't that much here. But what is here I enjoyed. I've played through to 3 endings, and I think there's 12. I was kind of doing some research on the community hub before we started. 11 or 12, thereabouts. But it is priced accordingly for what you're given, I feel. The asking price is £1.99, which is more than fair. Anyway, without too many spoilers, the general gist is we are apparently in a prison. We are being held. We have been given this phone, which is not ours, and we are tasked with kind of social engineering information about the person whose phone it was because they are a suspected terrorist. We have to find out if that's true, we have to collect evidence, we have to gather all this together, prove it, and then we and our family will be released. So we're kind of being strong-armed by an authoritarian government body. Think kind of like 1984 type stuff. So we will play a little bit, but I don't want to do too much. So, because a lot of this is about working out passwords and whatnot, so if you know them in advance, you're obviously going to go super quick. So we're not going to play that much. This will probably be a short video. It's a cheap pseudo game. I enjoyed the time I spent with it, so that's why I'm still doing some coverage on it, because I think it's worth a little look if you're interested in something a little bit odd. Let's press play and get into it. Even the music is handled via the phone, by the way. So here we are. Oh, it's Somi. So here's the phone. We are locked. We're on 3V. That's the time and date. We have 11 missed calls, 8 messages, and we are locked. So we press on the lock. We need to work out what the passcode is. But we could also just make an emergency call. And let's do 999 because I'm in the UK, although it does actually assume that you do 911. But we can call the emergency services and see what happens. Got an incoming call from somebody called Emily Greenleaf, and then a text. 911, what's your location? Hello, is this an emergency? Are you unable to speak? I'm locked in, please help. Where are you locked in? Who's locked you in? I don't know where. Homeland Security won't let me... Oh. Homeland Security. I'm transferring this call to Homeland Security headquarters. Wait! Hello? Tom Ripley, that's who we are. I gave you a chance, I trusted you, how disappointing. I'm sorry, I was pressing buttons without thinking. Sure, Tom, you wouldn't do something irrational like neglecting the call to serve the state. ... ellipses. This is your chance to prove the innocence of you and your parents, don't blow it. I'm giving you another chance. This is, after all, a country of second chances. Check the text history, it might come in handy when looking for the passcode. Me. So, Mr. Fremont, whoever that is, just said tomorrow is my 17th birthday. As in, the person who had this phone. It's their 17th birthday tomorrow. So, that is the biggest hint we're going to get given about what his birthday is, or what his passcode is, sorry. It's his birthday, so it's 0511, 5th of September. So we can break in that way. Oh, no, it's 05. Damn it. Back out. I keep forgetting you have to put the O in. 0511. That took me longer than it probably should have when I was playing this off camera to work that out. And now that we're into the phone, we have access to his apps, we have access to his settings, his mail, this is locked I believe by the security, his SMS, his phone calls, and we're in. We now have to work out what this guy was doing, if he was indeed doing anything. We can also kind of go into the settings here. Do airplane mode if we wanted. But we're being called by, I guess, what we would call our boss. Also, that's super loud. I assume you cracked the password since you were able to answer the phone. Good job. I knew from the start you had talent for this kind of work. You should be proud to assist in this important case concerning national security. If you succeed, you'll prove that you and your parents are ordinary citizens and pose no threat to the state. Wouldn't you like to get your clothes and phone back to see your parents again? So actually we're nude right now. That's weird. Your job is simple. Collect evidence to prosecute the terrorists locked in the cell next to you. Can you at least give me a hint who this phone belongs to? He's a coggy 17-year-old who interferes with Homeland Security. He insisted we were infringing on his rights to privacy by asking for his phone's password. His lack of compliance, refusal to answer the simplest of questions is highly suspicious, and tracking his bus card, RFID and cell phone GPS has shown that he frequents locations around the city connected with terrorist activities, not the usual high school students' hangout spots. Unfortunately, I can't tell you more details about the terrorist since you lack security clearance. Then I should look for anything related to terrorism and call you back? ? For security reasons, you must not make or answer incoming calls apart from mine. You must leave no call records in the phone's call history. You have been warned. One last thing, open the store app and download To Do. It looks like a normal time management app, but it's much more developed by Homeland Security. It has two main functions. First, it will keep a list of objectives that you must accomplish for the investigation. Second, everything you press will be automatically sent to us for processing. So this is very similar to a mechanic that was in Beholder, another game I recently looked at. If you see anything suspicious, images or text related to your objectives, just press it. We will confirm whether or not it's relevant to the information required for the investigation. Remember, you are now a guardian of liberty for our democratic country. And then he just hangs up like an asshole. So, you don't need to listen to him, and as I say, there are multiple ways you can do this, but we can go to the store and we will download their Facebook equivalent and also the To Do app. Clearly they have better cell phone coverage than I do in whatever this prison is. If we load the cell phone app, this kind of tells us what to do. It will list our objectives. You can't drag or pinch to zoom, so please don't try. But you can press on stuff that may or may not be relevant. And then it gives us our first few objectives. Lock screen password, we've done. That's another text from the bastard who's telling us what to do. But our general gist is we have to work out who owned this phone. Their cell phone number, their phone name. That's easy enough. We can just go into contacts. There's the guy's name. So this is Dickie Greenleaf's phone. That's his phone number. That's his email, although we don't need to know that yet. Yep, so we're just... Well, this is the tutorial, essentially. Hey, we found the information that we needed. Good. Go back to the to-do list. That's done. So now we also need to find out his mother's full name, his father's full name, and his girlfriend's full name. And again, most of that information we can probably get from here. That's the mother, that's the father, and that's the girlfriend. Again, you could ignore him and phone some of these people to see what happens, but keep in mind they are tracking everything you do. So now we also need his age, his address, and his school. So I don't think we're going to get that from there. No, we're not going to get the information from here. We can get his email, but that's not relevant yet. Although maybe we can make it relevant. What else can we have a look at here? What is this? This app is restricted by Homeland Security. We can load up his search function. We can have a little look at what he's been searching for. Bodo League Massacre, Neo-Fascism. I can't say that. Fascism. There we are. Riot, Morse code, and Morse backwards. Those are clues. Can you type in anything you want here, actually? No. Oh, that almost made it not full screen. But this isn't stuff you need yet, although you can, if you want, search and find that they're locked by Homeland Security, etc. Yeah. So he's been searching for things that the state doesn't like. That's something to take note of. He's also using an illegal mail app that we don't want him using. Now to get into the Facebook thing, we need an email address and a login code. To-do list, find his email address. Well, we already saw that. There it is right there. So that's given us half the information we need to get into his Facebook account. We also need his password. I know that there's actually two ways to work this out. You can... Well, if you type in anything, it'll give you a hint if you get it wrong enough times. Probably on the third attempt, I might guess. So the hint is it's Margie's birthday. So now if we work out what his girlfriend's birthday date is, we can just get in that way. I believe if you also keep on trying to brute force it, it will give you the chance to reconfigure the passcode via a phone call. But we know that we need Margie's birthday. And we can get that. Is there anything else we can get on the App Store? IMStar is under censorship. Twitter is under censorship, although you do actually get access to that later on. And you can, if you want, hack into it. The search function we looked at. The music is literally just the music that's playing. You can change the tracks if you want. Oh, the Mafia. Mafia Frog would be happy. I want to go back to the Mafia. Where is the Mafia? Missing the Mafia. There we are. Music by Zero Project. I hope that's license free. And we've got a bunch of text messages there. His family has been missing him. Missing poor Dickie. Actually, let's talk about the subject of Dickie for a second. Dickie is a terrible first name. It doesn't make sense in English, and I'm sure in a few other languages. I don't think this was made by a English speaking, as in a first language, development company. Some of the English is not correct, but not so much that it's that distracting. Just every so often a sentence doesn't read right. Didn't really interfere. It didn't get in the way of working out the stuff you actually need to progress. Like, it's not going to get in your way of working out passwords or emails or anything like that. But just every so often stuff is written weird. So you might notice that as well if you're just looking. But and also the guy's name who's you're investigating, Dickie, that's not an actual first name. It's terrible. No one would name their child Dickie Greenleaf. That's just ridiculous. But yeah, there's a bunch of people here, including this very, very cryptic one here, which we actually can't look at yet. That looks like coordinates to me, but let's not worry about that, because that's one possible avenue you can explore. But I don't really want to show off too much more, to be honest. If you follow the linear line of doing what you're told, you've got a few more passwords to hack, you've got a bit more information to find. Trying to get into here can also be an objective to work out what the secret secret photo is and whether or not it's relevant to the terrorist stuff. You can also just look at the camera roll to potentially get some more information. No, we don't need that yet. Can find information. The sexy t-shirt. No location information. The date it was taken. The image name. You didn't find the information yet? Don't talk to me, whoever you are. Yep, I know you can look at the information on the photos. Thank you. But I guess to quickly finish off, I'll kind of cut this off by showing you one of the abrupt endings where you disobey too obviously. So we're gonna grab the phone, I guess, and we're gonna open up the contact list. Where's the contact list? This is the contact list. So Emily Greenleaf has been calling a ton. We're going to call her and we're going to get in trouble for it. So let's go to... Do I phone her from contracts? Oh yeah, I do. Actually, I never tried texting her. Ah, you can't send a text. It's almost as confusing as using my actual phone. So keep in mind this is just one possible ending. Dickie, is it you? You're Dickie's mother, right? I'm sorry, ma'am. Who are you? Why do you have Dickie's... You've got to finish that sentence, lady. Dickie is alive. He's locked in a cell and being investigated by Homeland Security. They treat us like animals. Nope, don't want to talk to you. Nope, don't want to talk to you. Nope, don't want to talk to you. Actually, I think I remember reading there's a ending if you just keep on ignoring his call. Because last time I answered, and he says, oh, you've done it now, you and your family are gone. Looks like I actually did trigger an ending I didn't see before. What ending number is this? Ending... 0. Oh yeah, I haven't seen this one. It was humiliating being naked. They knew my fear, and they did not need to pour water down my nose. In the end, after repeated confessions, I believed I am the anti-establishment terrorist and a threat to national security and to the public. It says that after every ending. I'm not sure what it means. Something about the state, obviously. And then you can go back to a checkpoint. In other words, a checkpoint before you mess things up. So in this case, before I phoned the mother. Or you can just reboot from the very start. So that's about it. If you're only going to play through this once and you happen to get one of the quicker endings, you'll probably feel ripped off. It's worth going for some of the other endings. Some of them, I would say, involve too many real-time hours of doing literally nothing. It's very Stanley Parable in that regard. But it's nice digging into the storyline, what's really going on, what the person in the next cell to you is actually doing, that kind of stuff. I do recommend it. It's only £1.99. It's a fun little distraction. You're probably not going to get more than a couple of hours out of this at best, assuming you don't go for the endings that require more time than that. But yeah, maybe it's an interesting thing that you want to check out. The Steam store page for it will be linked below. You can go check out some reviews of people who've maybe put a bit more time in, got all the endings, see what they think. It's sitting on overly positive, or mostly positive. Hang on, I want to double check. I'm pretty sure it was very positive. Why was I saying overly positive? Yeah, 81% positive. it's a nice little distraction. It's priced fairly. And that's my final thoughts on Replica. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Ta-ta for now.